My name is Sal, and I'm a musician. I have been since the sixth grade. Music has been one of those things that's always been a constant in my life. I've discovered myself through music and the genres I love and the instruments that I play. It started as a thing I just did when I was 11 and quickly became a passion. I've played with a number of people over the years and made many lifelong friends with the same love for music. The dream for any of us, I believe, is to one day be playing for a raging crowd. But at the end of the day, things are not. We play music because we love it. It's like therapy. This is a story about just that, about why we do what we do. I think, generally speaking, I've been playing music for about 19 years now, since I was 11 or 12 years old in the sixth grade, and I started with the clarinet. The clarinet wasn't my first choice, actually. It kind of just came about that way because I originally wanted to play the drums, but the way that they assigned the instruments at that time, the local band instructor from the junior high school, he came down. Everybody was able to pick whether they wanted like the flute or the trumpet and all that stuff. But there was only one spot for the drums, and the other popular kid in class also wanted to do the drums. So they put it up to a vote, and everybody voted for the popular kid. Eventually, though, in high school, I actually did get the chance to play the drums. And at first, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to continue in the high school band. And then some friends of mine, and also my sister, because she was in band as well, they convinced me to continue. So I started my freshman year of high school. I was in the pit. So, like, those people in the front that play like the bells and like the big bass drums and all those things. So that was my introduction to percussion. Um, and then the years following that, I did bass drum, quad toms, and I eventually bought myself a drum set because I really wanted to join the jazz band in high school because jazz band just looked really fun. And I didn't end up doing jazz band. I don't remember why, but around that time that I got that drum set and I was starting to play, I was also in the choir, and one of my friends named Henry invited me to join his band, and that just kind of propelled me even further as a musician and just opened up a whole new door for different genres and experimentation, and kind of where the passion really flourished. These days, I've been jamming out with a few friends of mine, Nate Delgado, Luigi Gonzalez, and Joey Lopez. All great musicians. I've known them all since high school still, and we've kept in contact. And just, we all bring different things to the table, different taste in music, different life experiences. When we come together, it's really cool that we can make something so beautiful and so new, so uniquely ours. So, can you describe what playing music makes you feel, and are there any particular times that you can recall?
Um, I feel free. A lot of times, because I have really bad anxiety. So, I, I constantly live with that weight of just existence. So, when I'm playing, I finally feel free. I finally feel relaxed. A couple times about that is like, um, I would play at home and I would loop what I'm playing, and then I'll play on top of that. And somehow, I swear to God, I would get sleepy, and I would just like sleep and fall asleep like that while it's playing. I would like, wake myself up from like playing. I'm like, oh, I was doing that, and it's nice. It's like it's a freeing feeling of yourself. You're letting another form of you out. Some part of you that is pretty vulnerable, and you're allowed to let that side of you out. It feels like crying without tears. It feels like rage without the anger. It feels like everything like that. You're releasing everything, so that way when you're done, I don't know if you felt it too, but like you feel light.
It's said that the best music comes from the toughest times. Are there any songs you've written that are tied to those times?
Never knows best. I kind of wrote that in a really dark place. There was a point in time where, didn't I had no idea where my kids were. It was like gone for like months, and then I was able to get them back, and you know, when I finally had them back, it was that was it right there. That was life.
Oh yeah, man. Most of them actually, and it all started out with like back in the day, when you're a kid and or not a kid, like a teenager, you go through stuff and like I don't know, you just don't really feel like you could open up to people or friends or I don't know, it's just like embarrassing or you're feeling down and you like don't really want to tell anybody. You just pick up the guitar and you just it just even if you're not with the intention of like oh I'm gonna make a sad song or something, just playing that and it just would come out naturally.
A while ago, maybe it's not super heavy to some people, but to me it was. When I was younger, I had a dog named Poopy, a little black girl dog, and unfortunately she got sick and passed away. And I the only way I knew how to express that feeling at the time was to write a song. And maybe it wasn't like with words or anything, but it was just like a little instrumental, and just to express how I felt in that moment.
If you couldn't play anymore, how would that change your life?
I think it would be like that forever itch that you can't scratch. I would probably say I literally wouldn't be here if that were the case.
To be honest, I think I would find a way to make music. You know, so I lost a limb or something, and I couldn't play guitar or something. I would find a way. There's always a way. Even if I'm not playing guitar, like you could tap your foot, you could sing, you could do something.
Any instrument or just that one?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be boring. It'd be boring, like not having to that outlet of expression. I'd probably draw, maybe write, but there's something about music that is just so now, so in the moment that it's a different type of expression, I guess.
What advice would you give to anyone who wants to be a musician?
Um, don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Um, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to sound terrible, but that's okay. Everybody sounds bad when they first start. Nobody starts at the top and they just go from there. Nobody does.
Oh man, just make noise. Just make noise because that's how you learn. You just play every fret on the guitar. Learn what sounds what makes what sound. You know, just make noise, and eventually from that noise you'll find a melody or a cool riff, or you'll find your own way. I think we all have it in us. It's like how none of our hearts beat the same. Some people got irregular beats. Some people, their beats are a little off, but it doesn't make it wrong. I mean, they're still living, walking, breathing, working.
Be obsessed, because I don't think there's any other way that you can, uh, you know, dedicate so much time into something without being obsessed with it. Personally, when I was learning, at least for the first years, I would wake up, play, fall asleep with my guitar in my hands, until my fingers bled, and maybe that wasn't a healthy amount of obsession, but uh, I think that's just it.